All right, bring yourself to lying on your back with your head, in an ideal world, pointing towards your right hand side. The best viewpoint for me is always going to be profile. So if you can turn me sideways to your mat, even better. We're going to start by the soles of the feet coming together, the knees open out to the side in a little diamond. If this is not comfortable, you can wedge a couple of blocks or books right underneath your knees. Let your arms rest down by your side with your palms facing towards the sky. Closing down the eyes, I want you to take a nice deep breath in, filling up your lungs. And as you breathe out, really feel your lungs deflating. Blow the ceiling away. Inhale through the nose, fill up your lungs all the way to capacity. Exhale and relax your body down into the floor. Inhale and expand as far and as wide as you can, sideways and backwards into your lungs. Long exhale to empty out. Now, as you're doing your breathing work today, I really want you to think about breathing more than you usually would. So when we breathe normally in our everyday lives, we actually only use the upper portion of our lungs. We very rarely use those lower lobes of the lungs. And this can cause neck and shoulder tightness. It can contribute towards the feeling of breathlessness. So today I want you to really feel like you're taking the air in right to the base of your lungs. The more air you take in, the more likely you are to feel like you're using the lower lobes. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly start to bring your knees to point directly towards the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. Extend your right leg all the way along the floor until it feels like it's almost being pulled away from you. And then pull your left knee into your chest. You're going to hold onto the shin with both hands and gently start to guide the leg round in a circle. It almost feels like you're massaging the thigh against the front of your rib cage, your pelvis. And then start to circle the other way, gentle massage round. And when you feel ready, pass that knee across your midline towards the screen. Take a spine twist. Your left knee is going to drop all the way to the right hand side. And you're going to fan the left arm open to like a T shape around about shoulder height. Maybe turn your gaze towards that left hand. Maybe slide a block underneath your knee if it feels uncomfortable to cross that leg over. Taking one more deep breath in here. As you exhale, slowly return back through center. Take the hands around the back of the thigh and begin to extend your leg all the way up to the ceiling, flexing your foot up towards the sky. Start to circle the leg in the hip socket. In, out, and all the way around. If you're struggling to hold on to your leg, remember you can bend the leg in half a little bit, so you're creating a little less stretch through the back of the hamstring. And then start to circle the other way. Just make sure it feels like your bottom leg is still being pulled away from you. And that will pull your pelvis into a nice neutral, so you're not tucking as your leg reaches up to the sky. 3. 2 more circles. And on the last one, you're going to bend the leg in half, grab a hold of that left foot with your left hand, and then open the leg almost to like a half happy baby. So it's like you're pulling your left knee into your left armpit. You're bending the leg in half, and then the other hand can just tee open out towards the right hand side. Yes, now make sure you're pressing your right hip into the floor. Pull your left shoulder back and down to encourage the knee into your armpit. Take one more deep breath in here. Feel the stretch across the inside of your thigh. And as you breathe out, roll towards the screen, towards your right shoulder when you're lying on your side. If you bend this bottom arm, you can make a really nice cushion for your head. But if that's not comfortable, you can take a block or a cushion and just slide it underneath the side of your head. Bend your bottom knee. Bend your top knee just on top of it, and you should have, hopefully, that left leg on top. I'm your mirror. That's it. Start to circle this top leg all the way up, back, and around. So you start to get a bit of a stretch through the front and the inside of your thigh. And then feel free to close down the eyes once more if you've opened them, just to feel all the sensations in your hip. And just closing down the eyes will really create that hypersensitivity so you can really feel what's going on. Maybe that left hand is on the floor, just supporting your body, making sure the hips are not turning towards or away from the floor. That's 3, 2, on 1. Grab a hold of the foot with your top hand, coming on the inside of the leg. You're going to bend the leg in half, turn it out, and place it flat on the floor in front of you, pulling it closer to your body, like bending your bottom leg underneath you into a figure 4. Yeah, now really lengthen out your back. Think nice flat back, almost like you're sticking out your bum. Option to push your left elbow or your left hand into the thigh to get a deeper stretch. Yes. Reach your head away from your hips. If it feels like you're not getting much of a stretch, try not to tuck under. Try and arc your back a little bit, as if you're trying to reach your head all the way back towards your hips. Just giggling because Susie's doggy Max is just loving this flow. His tail a second ago was wafting so much I thought I was going to fall off the side. Good. Start to grab hold of that leg once more. This time maybe holding onto the toe or the heel, but again, don't go from the outside. See if you can go from the inside. Bend this bottom leg behind you slightly and just slowly start to extend that bottom leg. Maybe it stays slightly bent for today. Maybe it fully straightens up towards the ceiling. If you're a bit more flexible, you might find that bending the elbow feels good. And really roll that left hip forward, as if you're turning to face towards the floor. Yes, hold it there. If you haven't toppled over on your back yet, keep those core muscles engaged. Keep the rib cage knitted together. Good. Take one more deep breath in here. Big breath out. Bend the knee. Turn the leg back to parallel and stagger so your bottom leg comes in front. Push off your hands. Bring yourself all the way up to a 90-degree angle with your legs. You should have your right leg in front, and then I'll show you from the side. Left leg is behind you. Yeah, you've got it. Take a nice deep breath in. Reach your arms all the way out to the side. As you breathe out, we're going to go over towards the right-hand side. Over the front of your legs, creating a big circle. Over towards the left-hand side. And all the way up back to that T shape. Repeat the other way. Left. Forward, curving your spine. Right. And back up to a T. Just keep going in your own time. When you go forward, don't be afraid to really curve your upper back like you're tucking or sort of rounding over like a beach ball. Almost as if you're trying to get your pelvis rolling underneath you. Yeah, gorgeous. Nice, Sarah. Creating that space across your shoulders, your mid-back. When I'm doing exercises like this, I like to imagine that somebody's just blown a load of bubbles up around me, and I'm trying to reach as far as I can to touch all the bubbles and just pop them open. So reaching away from the midline of the body. We're stretching the sides, the lower back, the hips. And making the next one your last one. There's no space to roll, Susie. Max is just wanting love today. Nice. Bring your back leg all the way up and over. Option 1, soles of the feet together. Option 2, left ankle on top of right ankle. And final option, left shin on top of right shin. Again, grab any props you need. You can prop props underneath the left knee. You can prop props underneath your butt, and just gently start to walk your fingertips forward until you feel your chest bowing into your thighs. This is the deepest stretch we've done so far today. It's going to get right into your glutes. Glutes are such strong and powerful muscles. And so the stretching sensation is usually strong and powerful too. Just taking a body scan. Do you feel any parts of your body joining in unnecessarily? It could be the neck, it could be the shoulders. Just try and relax everything down into the floor. And it's up to you how you want to hold your ankles. If you know you've got a history of knee issues, actively flexing the feet can help. But if you feel like it feels okay for your ankles, you can actually let the ankles go a little bit floppy to allow your body to pitch forwards. Remember, if you've got soles of the feet together, this won't count, obviously. It's just if your legs are crossing. Be mindful of your breath. Make sure you're not holding it. Taking one more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, slowly ripple to roll all the way up to seated. Swing your legs the other way so you're facing the opposite direction. And if you know that you were using props before, slide them down with you to lie all the way onto your back. This is the second time you've done soles of the feet together and knees apart. So maybe if you were using blocks last time, you might want to take the blocks away. And maybe if you want a little bit more sensation, you've got two options. You can press your hands gently against the inside of your thighs. Or you can press your hands onto the top of your thighs and try to push your legs away from you. Almost as if like when you hang a coat up on a coat hanger, and they're feeling like you're being pulled longer by your hips being pushed down underneath you. And when I do this one, I often feel this around the lower back. It can feel amazing for your hips, your lower back. Take one more huge deep breath, filling up your lungs. As you exhale, slowly bring your legs back to a parallel position, feet flat on the floor. Extend your left leg long away from you. Pull your right knee close to your chest. And I want it to feel like someone's actually pulling your left leg long. That's it. Start to circle your right knee in, out, and all the way around. Bringing it as close to your chest as feels good. Bending and extending the arms to create that circle. Maintaining a neutral spine as you go round. And slowly starting to change directions. Yes. Begin to pull your knee all the way across your midline. Take it right the way across until you're in a spine twist. Feel free to adjust your hips at any point if they don't feel quite in the right position. And then that top arm, that right arm, is just going to open to like a T shape so you can open up your chest a little bit. Yes, if you feel slightly over twisted, just move your hips back a little bit so that your body feels more like it's in a straight line, rather than a dot to dot from side to side. And then blocks can go underneath the knee that's crossed over if it feels a bit too intense of a twist. Maybe head is turning towards your right hand. Taking one more deep breath in, relaxing your neck and shoulders. And as you breathe out, using your abdominals to return back through center, Readjust your hips if they were moving slightly off the midline, and take your hands behind the back of your right thigh. Begin to extend your right leg up to the sky, hopefully flexing your foot if that feels okay, and just start to circle the leg in the hip joint. Yes. Now the good thing about holding the thigh rather than the calf is that you actually have to use the muscles in the front of your thigh, your hip flexors, to create the circle. So it's a bit of a strengthening exercise as well as stretching. And this is great for lower backs. If you have a very tight lower spine, spending time on your hamstrings can do wonders, especially in this flexed foot position. Start to change direction. Keeping the kneecap pulled up, really lengthening out through the leg as much as possible. And slowly start to bend the leg in half. Go ahead and take your right hand onto the inside of your right heel. Open the leg up to half happy baby. So the knee slides from the front of my right rib cage all the way to the side of my right rib cage. So it kind of opens up. And then the other arm can sort of tee open out to the side. I want you to think about keeping your sole of your foot really parallel to the ceiling, so the foot doesn't end up folding down or folding back. It's directly above your knee, so you're really finding that gorgeous external rotation. Yes. And feel free to bend that right elbow at any time if you feel like the leg is getting away from you. Just bending the elbow helps you to control the leg a little bit more. Taking one more deep breath in. As you breathe out, slowly rock and roll, gently letting go of your leg onto your left shoulder. We're creating that little pillow with the bottom arm, or maybe with a block, and we're bending the legs just in half right underneath us. This top hand can be on the floor for support, especially if you feel a bit unstable. Then this top leg is just going to start to circle in, out, back and around. There's a really lovely moment if you can get it. Just up here, right at this back corner, you feel like you're almost back in that half happy baby, where you're getting inner thighs, hamstrings, and to the hip. It's that time of year where we have the potential to lose our flexibility. Our flexibility is affected by a lot of things, but most of all, your tissues will really like being warm. This is why things generally feel easier in the summer months. The temperature is higher. Your tissues are more pliable, more stretchy when they are warmer. And so you tend to find you spend more time in end range positions over the summer months because you feel like your body can go there. Last two. Last one. Just grab a hold of your foot. Go for the inside of the ankle. You see how my arms sort of elbow onto the thigh? I'm going to pull the foot up nice and high and stamp it on the floor. And then pull this bottom knee right up against the outside of the ankle. Once I'm in position, I'm going to really lengthen my spine and then option to push elbow or hand against that right thigh. And you can't see it, but just to show you, this is what I'm trying to do with my back. I'm trying to sit nice and tall but on the floor. So it's almost like I'm sticking out my bottom. That's it. About lengthening the spine. Keep the neck and shoulders nice and relaxed. And this push, just make it a very gentle one. It's quite a deep stretch for the hip. Taking one more deep breath in. As you breathe out, this top hand is just going to grab hold of the ankle or the toes, but just make sure, again, you're on the inside, not the outside of the leg. You're going to pull the knee into your armpit, push this bottom leg back for balance, and then start to kick the leg up. Maybe it bends, Maybe it fully extends. See how you feel. And then really roll that top hip forwards. Yes, hold it there. It's a nice big stretch for the inner thighs, the hamstrings. Externally rotating the leg, squaring the hips forwards. Taking one more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, gently, gently let go of the leg. Bend the leg in half and bring it back to parallel and just slide your bottom leg in front. You'll press off your hands, come all the way up to 90-90. So this is where your front leg is 90 degrees from your body. Hopefully not too far outwards. You want it directly in front of you. And then your back leg is out to the side. If you find that you're getting quite a lot of cramp in this back hip, just fold this foot back a little bit. And then we go back for those circles. So a bit more drama this time. Inhale, the arms go all the way out. Big exhale, rounding forwards. Inhale, you sit nice and tall. You slightly have to squeeze your bum to stay upright. Exhale, you go the other way. Finding that tall position and then lengthening round. So if there's any moments that your knee is not enjoying, it feels too intense, again, there's options here to grab props and just pop them underneath your knee. The further flat your leg is, obviously the more intense it is. So just by propping the knee up, you're providing your body with that little bit more support. Yes, and all the drama going forwards. Imagine you're giving someone the biggest bear hug from behind. Tuck your tailbone, round your upper back. It's going to loosen up your sub-scap muscles underneath your shoulder blades that tend to get very, very tight in those winter months. That's 3, 2, and 1. Place your hand just off to the side to support you as you swing your back leg around. Option 1, you've got soles of the feet together. Option 2, right ankle on top of the left ankle. And then the final option, you should try this one because it's actually quite nice, just shin on top of shin. When I first put it in position, it doesn't usually feel good. It's only when I start to lean forward that I actually feel like it feels good. So if you're worried about it, maybe try leaning forward as you pop the leg down. Pop the hands forward and then just let your body curve into a rounded upper position. We're not just getting the glutes here. So the glutes are the big muscles. There's essentially 3 on each side. We're actually also getting the deep lateral rotators, muscles deep underneath the glutes that control where your leg sits in the hip socket. And because of that, muscles that really have an impact on your pelvic position and lower back. So again, if you've got a history of lower back discomfort, or maybe you just get it in the colder months, this is a great place to be. If at any point it feels too much for your knees, please remember you can pop props underneath your top knee, which takes out the intensity, or you can just come back to soles of the feet together. Mia, you look like you're in your happy place. She's like, yeah, I can stretch my hips all night long. Well, lucky you, we've got this exact same class, not the same format, but we've got it next week as well. Yay! We're taking one more deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, come to a gentle, comfortable, seated, cross-legged. If anybody's not comfortable here, you're welcome to grab a block or a cushion and just slide it under your butt. Essentially, you don't want your pelvis to be here because that's going to depress the ribs. You want to be right on top of the bony bits of your bottom. And then we're just going to focus a little bit on the upper body. So taking your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Sliding your fingers onto your back like you're patting yourself on the back, and then tricep stretch, hand to elbow. Pull the elbow across your midline. I'll just show you from behind. So there's a couple of different ways of doing this. You can just keep the hands sort of on the opposite shoulder, Or you can actually creep your fingertips across the midline as if you're trying to squeeze your hand against the same side shoulder. You just want to feel what feels right for you. And just from the side, I'll show you, when your arm goes up, your ribs will want to do this. They'll want to stick out. So as you pull your arm up and back, just pull the ribs in and down. And then what you might find is a very deep sort of nervy sensation underneath your armpits. Is it sound, Katie? Ah. One more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, sweep both arms overhead. Do a stop sign in front of you with your left hand and then grab it with your wrist. So you're just holding around the wrist. That's it. Start to push the arm over to the opposite side and then start to round your upper back. Tuck your chin to your chest. And again, it's that really dramatic C curve of your spine, hollowing your back, feeling the separation of your shoulder blade from your spine. As you breathe out, slow release up to vertical. Right arm high, tricep stretch. Fingertips go right between the shoulder blades. Press the arm across the midline. Check that you're on your sitting bones and that your ribs are pulling right down. And then you've got options to be on the opposite or the same side. So I don't know about you, but I'm super guilty of getting my lower body exercises, stretches done, always forgetting the upper body. But it feels so good afterwards. It almost feels like your neck has grown longer, your arms feel lighter, everything feels easier when you just spend a little bit of time stretching. One more deep breath in. As you breathe out, sweep the arm all the way up, slowly release, stop sign, grab the wrist, pull the arm across the midline, and then round your back. So that's coming in from the pelvis, tucking under, you're off your sitting bones now, and it's coming from you pulling your arm right across your midline. One more deep breath in here. Really feel the space behind your shoulder blades. As you breathe out, come back through center. Gently place your hands onto your thighs and just close down your eyes. Take a second to stack your head, your shoulders and hips in one vertical line so everything feels a bit lighter. And then take a moment to be proud of yourself for putting 30 minutes into your own body. This is like a bit of an MOT for your body. Rest and recovery will always nourish you and will always make the rest of your life easier. Whether it's working out, going to work, family, relationships, rest and recovery will make you a calmer, kinder person and physically will support everything else that you're doing. Taking one more deep breath in here. And a big sigh out. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me.